The Los Angeles Lakers, in my opinion, just kind of stole Rui Hachimura away from the Washington Wizards. Now, a few things before I get into the actual, meat of this video, I want to touch on just a few things. One, I don't think Rui Hachimura, like a lot of people, really changes much for the Lakers. He gives them a very solid role player. He adds depth to this team, and I do think they got a better player than what they traded away, and I do think they got slightly better. But I'm not going to act like that Rui Hachimura is going to make this team a finals contending team. It doesn't really change that much for this team. It was a step in the right direction, but they need to do a lot more. The Lakers were not a Rui Hachimura away from being a finals contending team. Not at all, okay? They still need to do a few things. They still need to make a few trades, but I do think that they did steal Rui away from the Wizards, and I do think that they did win the trade when it is all said and done, and I'm getting to a few things why I think that they were able to do that in this video. So the first thing I want to get into is going to be the actual trade package itself, and it really wasn't nothing special. It was basically the Los Angeles Lakers would be receiving Rui, while the Washington Wizards would be receiving Kendrick Nunn, a 2023 second round pick, a 2027 second round pick, and the swap rights in 2028. Now, really, 2027, 2028 second round picks, those could be early, mid to late second round picks. We have no idea how good or bad the Lakers are going to be that far down in the future. But the 2023 second round pick will probably be mid to late second round if I had to guess, and that could be kind of valuable for a team like the Wizards, who are in a real rebuilding stage as of right now. Now, the reason that I think that this was a steal for the Lakers is because look at both teams' perspectives. If you look at the Lakers' perspective of this entire trade, they were able to get a guy that legitimately adds pretty needed depth to this team, gives them a legit role player who gives you about 12.6 rebounds every single night. He's very solid, and he's been very consistent in what he does for about the 4 years he's been in the NBA so far. So he's been very consistent. Now, he doesn't play at a star level, and he will never be a star level player, but he is a very consistent player, and consistency is always a great thing to add, especially off of your bench. So I think Rui Hachimura is going to be a great player for them, and even if he starts for them, he'll be very solid as well. But like I said, I don't think Rui was really the final piece this team needed. He wasn't the missing infinity stone, okay? They need more than just Rui on this team. He was a step in the right direction, but he doesn't really move the needle by himself all that much. He could be a small piece into the much bigger picture that could help move the needle a little bit in future moves and future trades, but I don't think that him by himself makes the team that much better. If anything, he just adds a very consistent piece, which is nice to have for a team that does have aspirations of contending for a championship. And then also, the only kind of negative for the Lakers would be that maybe they could be bad in the future, and those could be early second round picks, but it's still a second round pick, okay? They're never going to be that valuable. There's very rarely does a team get that impactful of a player. Now, it does happen, don't get me wrong. Jokic was a second round pick, okay? So, I mean, if one of those second round picks ends up being Jokic, this was no longer a steal. But assuming that doesn't happen, I think that the Lakers were able to get a lot of what they wanted without giving up much in return. And to make things worse, from a Wizards perspective, the Wizards got the older player in Kendrick Nunn, who is a solid player, but he is 3 years older, and he's not that good, and he doesn't have that high of upside. He's a very average guard, and he doesn't really fit with the team because the team already has a good amount of young guards on the roster. So Kendrick Nunn going into the future probably does not have a role at all on this team, and you traded away Rui, and Rui was, like I said, 3 years younger with higher upside and fit the team better, so you got a worse scheme fit, you got older, and then on top of that, yes, they did get second round picks, but if you look at their second round pick history, it's not the best. And since they got 3 second round picks, let's go over their last 3 second round picks they have made in the past. So the last second round pick that they made was in 2020, and it was for, I'm going to butcher his name, but it was for Vit Krejci. Now, Vit is actually their most successful second round pick in the last 3 years, as Vit is a guy that never played for them, but he did play a few games for OKC, and then he is currently, I'm pretty sure, on the Atlanta Hawks roster. So at least he is still in the NBA. But if you go back to even farther, in the next last second round pick they made was a guy named Azuf Sanin, and if you don't know his name, you shouldn't, and if you do, you're weird, okay? He literally never played an NBA minute, and when I looked him up to try to find something out about him, he literally nothing comes up. I'm pretty sure he does not play basketball anymore. I don't know who he is. And then going even all the way back to 2015, which was where their next second round pick was, they selected Aaron White. And Aaron White, just like Azuf, literally never played an NBA minute either, meaning 2 of their last 3 second round picks never made it to the NBA, and their one that did never actually played for them. So their track record of second round picks is not the best, you could say. So I don't know how valuable these second round picks they were able to get are really going to be when that is what your track record is. Like, I know it's hard to hit on second round picks, but to just have complete strikeouts like those 3 and for your last 3 second round picks is a very, very bad sign. And then you also put on top of the fact that you got Kendrick Nunn, who doesn't really have a future with the team most likely, and if he does, he's not going to make your team any type of significance of being better anytime soon. So I really don't understand why the Wizards would make a trade like this, besides the fact that they did not want to pay Rui, but I think if they did extend Rui, they probably could have got more for him in the future. So I really just don't understand this trade at all from a Wizards perspective. So with the Lakers basically getting slightly better, and I think the Wizards getting worse, and basically having nothing in compensation for Rui, I just think that overall the Wizards made a very bad trade and just kind of did something for the fact of doing it for some reason. And yes, the Lakers got slightly better, but I don't think the Lakers stole him for the fact of getting better, or more the fact that they got a solid player for basically nothing. And I think for sure that is a very good trade for the Lakers and a very bad trade for the Washington Wizards. But unfortunately, guys, that's me for this video. So comment below, do you agree with me? Do you think that the Wizards made a big mistake? Do you think the Lakers got better? What trades do you think the Lakers should make in the future? What are your thoughts in the comment section below? Anything you point to like button, subscribe button, and me, that's what it means. I hope you have a blessed day. Have a blessed day. See you now, have a blessed day. All glory to God. See you in the next video. Goodbye. Boo. Blah.